Hey folks, Sega Sonic Fan here, and I am cleaning up and repairing a Sega CDX power supply. Now this one had a rough life because someone had left the 2AA battery cells inside of it for who knows how long, and they eventually leaked acid all over the place, and that's what I'm cleaning up right now. Now I misplaced, where did that connector go? Well, misplaced the connector for a second here, but I can show you the board. The connector's all cleaned up and nice now, and this is the board under a microscope. And the important thing when you get these kind of problems is you really gotta do some TLC for the copper, because the copper, mixes with the acid and just turns to crap, starts to dissolve and conduct very poorly. So what I end up doing with these kind of repairs is I will do a multi-stage process where I will first just put on a lot of flux and really just try to vaporize a lot of that material. Now you got to be really careful and have a proper ventilation system going, because when you do that you risk breathing in a lot of really toxic stuff. And so that's the first step, is I will try to burn off as much as I can and soak a lot of it basically into the solder. I will then go in with some some desoldering braid, and that will soak up a good amount. Then I go in with some isopropyl alcohol and Q-tips, and I rub a lot of crap out that way. You have to use a heating iron, or hot air gun helps a lot too for that, hot air station. Then I will go back and usually flux and soldering iron, everything again, and then I will also, as a last stage, do the desolder braid, and then finally the isopropyl alcohol and Q-tips. Sometimes I will use a metal cleaner solution as well. There are some good rust remover solutions out there. Whew, it's a lot of work to do that properly. To do it properly where it's going to last, 20 years. I'm sure there's a quick and easy solution that's not going to last very long. But you see here now, this is all treated with solder, essentially. The solder protects it from further contaminants and rust. And it's looking pretty good. It's not perfect by any means, but it's pretty good. It's definitely in the good enough range by a stretch, actually. This ground plane looks really solid around the screw hole there. And of course, the big problem that's remaining is I have to try to tap that via and replace it. That's for the 9-volt trace. Not surprisingly, the 9-volt trace is where your problems are going to be, because it's the highest voltage potential on here. So that's what's going to have the first problem, and then of course blow the fuse. And so yeah, I got that all going, and I actually originally I did cut the trace to try to isolate where the short was, and you see that's where I cut it, so I'll have to patch that. But what had happened is the acid just really did a number under. This is under the connector, so you couldn't even see this, and this was shorting to the ground plane right next to it. So that was really bad. I did, after I cut that trace and patched a wire, this is working. This is actually a fully working board. I'm just going in here and properly removing all the acids so that it'll work for a really long time and essentially be a stock, super solid CDX power board. So yeah, hopefully this video is helpful to you. Watch out for leaking batteries and rust in your motherboards, and take care to actually go through the multi-stage process if you want things to last a long time. This is Sega Sonic Fan, signing out.